Man. Yeah. Thank you, audience. Thank you, socially distanced audience. This is a very big stage that we're on right now, and there are 14 of us, and you guys made the sound of 28 people, so I appreciate it very much. And man, thank you for your music and for your time. We've not Aeneas, but the two of you guys, we've done a lot of things individually. Now we're here collectively, and I'm very glad that we're crossing paths, and we're about to share a lot of your music from the self-titled record. What's happening first today?
The first song is called Mountain Rain.
1, 2, 3.
All the miles stacked like a millionaire's money, I can't get them back, and I'm sorry for that, honey. There's tracks behind my feet and mud up to my knees, working for John Henry, but he's so hard to please. He's so hard to please. Down around Big Bend with the West Virginians, hammer in the morning, hammer in the mountain rain. John had a 9-pound hammer, died with it in his hand, never did see the light, light at the tunnel's end, light at the tunnel's end. All the miles stacked like a millionaire's money, I can't get them back, and I'm sorry for that, honey. I'm sorry for that, honey.
Thank you.
Man, thank you so much for that. This is delightful here in the room. The sound that you're putting out acoustically here is wonderful. I cannot wait to hear the mix that Juan is putting out to the internet right now. This is just delightful. Thank you guys for doing this. I want to know about the origin story, and I apologize if you're sick of telling the story, because I imagine that it's out there on the internet, but I purposely didn't Google it because I wanted to know from you. You're very busy people with a lot of things. Like, how does the scheduling happen? How did the origin of this band even come to exist?
The origin is pretty uninteresting, so let's talk about the scheduling.
Yeah, scheduling's
And that's
fascinating.
really
Yes,
interesting.
let's dive into Google Docs
Yeah.
right now.
The origin story is, I guess, Josh. Yeah, it's really not that
It's
great.
not that great.
Well, one thing that's
yeah,
funny is
it's-
that, like, we've all been upended by the pandemic. We've all moved.
Yeah.
Like, the reason we started playing music is we were both in Brooklyn.
We were both in Brooklyn, pretty close to each other, and we
Yeah.
had kind of kids the same age too. And
Yeah, and I, like, admired Josh's guitar playing. We got together, we started to make some folk music, and then Josh was traveling through LA, where you no longer are living right now.
I'm living in an undisclosed location.
But at the time you were in LA and you were
Yeah.
passing through and you had a dinner and you were like, I think Eric needs to get in on this folk music.
But right before that, you had actually called me. You were like, oh my God, I'm discovering the fruit bats, and I was like,
Oh yeah.
oh, that's so great.
And I was
He's
discovering
amazing.
Aeneas Mitchell at the same
I'm
time.
having dinner there
Yeah.
tonight. And
And we tweeted, me and Eric were Twitter friends. We tweeted at each other. It's like,
Yeah.
So that's where it's like
and that's
not
cool,
Yeah,
but
not a good
embarrassing
story.
at the
I
same
disagree
time.
entirely. I feel like that is a pretty interesting story, and I don't regret having asked you that question.
Oh, great, cool.
anyway, we started to play this music, and we probably it's important that also we got invited to play at the Eau Claire Festival
Yeah.
when we didn't even have a band name, or really like maybe you could
Finished
count on one
songs.
hand like the number of songs we had worked on.
Yeah.
And they gave us a set, and then we were like, all right, we need a band name. We need a set worth of material, and that festival and the this residency we did in Berlin called from the People Collective was like important kind of I was gonna say petri dish, but that sounds gross. You know what I mean? The nest, a nest for us to work
Yeah.
A mixing bowl.
in. Yeah.
Yeah. And
A non-pandemic related item that
it was
grows things.
so not
Yeah.
COVID. The
Yeah.
time that we were in when we made this music for the first time, very before times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sweaty Brooklyn studio, sweaty summer festival in Wisconsin, sweaty like old GDR radio station studio in Berlin. It was very before times, places that we can't get to right now. Yeah.
And we made the record. We got it out. Am I going too far? Just telling the whole story here.
No, go,
We
please.
got-
we got
we-
time. This is our last one. We just play the whole fucking album if you want to. Talk and play. We're fine.
Well, we made this record, and then we did it. We got to do a release tour. Like, it was kind of amazing. We
Yeah.
did, 3 weeks or something.
Yeah.
And then and we were on tour when this stuff started happening. I remember like hearing it on the radio. That there was a case in Seattle or something, and then at a certain moment we stopped the tour, and it was like we didn't get to go back. Like, that was what we got for
That was
record.
it. Yeah.
I can relate very much to the sweatiness. I had considered introducing myself as Sweaty Cheddar because that's funny to me, and I can't really touch my gear right now because I'm so wet. And yeah, I'm wet. I'm sweating. Your Sweaty album is wonderful. I'm enjoying it very much and enjoying this live performance. And there's a lot more. What's happening second today?
What is happening second?
We'll do the
Song
roving.
called The Roving.
Oh, yeah. All
Which
right.
is,
It's a good one.
it's a good one, based on an old song called Loving Hannah.
Yeah.
Sort of.
And courting is a pleasure.
And Courting's a pleasure.
But it's sort of like a John Hughes movie plot, too.
All right.
Annie, loving Annie, come give me your hand. You said that if you're married, I could be the man. The roving of her eye. I knew her love was changing by the roving of her eye. Early in the summer, my Annie passed me by. I knew her love was changing by the roving of her eye. The roving of her eye. I knew her love was changing by the roving of her eye. The roving of her eye. I knew her love was changing by the roving of her eye. later in the summer, with a bottle in my hand, saying, drink with me, my Annie, for our love is at an end. I go down to the water when everyone's asleep, and I think of loving Annie wherever she may be.
Yes, audience, you are killing it. Bonny Light Horseman, you are killing it. Let's. This is our last one for the
last
week. We're
one.
gonna go lay down and sleep for like 2 weeks as soon as we wrap. Juan just pointed out, which I did not realize, that you guys are all in drop D right now. Is the drop? If that's fake news, it's his fault. I mean,
It's
That's real.
open,
So it's
open
true.
D, dad fad, although the F would be an F sharp.
F sharp.
Open D.
is
yeah.
that like a
Dad
vocal
Dad
range
Fashad.
necessity? Is it a vibe necessity for the songs, or why did you choose to do it that way?
It was like, I guess Aeneas and I became obsessed with this tuning.
Yeah.
And
And
also,
I've always
Eric
been.
has
I have
kind of
several of my own band Fruit Bats. The very first Fruit Bats song and the very first Fruit Bats album is a giant strum of Dad Fashad.
Dad Fashad.
Yeah.
And I had like when my
And the opening
kid
of
was my
Fletch.
daughter Clarabelle was born, I tuned this guitar in our house to open D because I thought like, oh, she'll walk by it and she'll hit it. It'll sound like something and it'll be exciting. So then I started futzing around with it. But then when we started writing these songs, it really unlocked a lot of new ideas.
Yeah.
I think, and they sound when they sing over it. It's a magic thing. I think it's like the sound of the tuning and Eric and Aeneas singing on this.
Do you find that, so when do you write in that tuning, or do you write? Yeah. Do you ever write on anything but guitar, and is it a keyboard centric or mandolin centric thing ever, and does that completely change the idiom of how the melody ends up coming out?
Yeah.
Sweet.
I write on piano all the time.
Yeah, changes it.
Yeah.
Awesome.
But
As
we
long
wrote-
as there's no follow-up questions at all,
Yeah.
I
We
feel
wrote
good
a
about
lot
that
of
question.
these in open D. That is
open
really
D.
true.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like, and I think the guitar like is happy in open D.
Yeah, it's
I
floppy.
feel
And,
sad when I have to crank it up to standard now.
yeah, it
Putting
does.
on a corset.
It does. Yeah, it does feel like it's like ooh, it's a little tight, don't
Oh,
you
it
think?
might break. It's
Yeah.
gonna break in half.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. And you could like smoke a cigarette with this hand while you. Not that any of us smoke cigarettes, but
I used to.
You used to. You could
Back
pretend to.
in this forever ago when you could smoke cigarettes. You can't smoke cigarettes now. You shouldn't smoke cigarettes now. Nobody does currently. Which is
True,
for
but
the
if
best.
if you did smoke cigarettes, you could do it while you played in open D tuning.
Yeah.
You could even put that cigarette by the tuning pegs,
Yeah.
by the headstock.
You can smoke a doob.
if you were so inclined.
Yeah,
Smoke a doob while you're doing it.
that's right.
Yeah, you can smoke a dude.
The guitar would like that if you did that. Yeah.
Nice, man. This is a total pleasure. Again, thank you all for taking the time to do this. And there's more of your music to be shared. What's happening third today?
Yeah, we're gonna do a song called Black Waterside.
Yeah.
Very old song. Our take on a very old song. Oh yeah, I start this one.
Yeah.
Yeah. One evening fair to take the air down by Black Waterside, and gazing all around me, this handsome lad I spied this handsome lad I spied. All through the first part of the night, where we lay in sport and play, and this young man arose and he gathered his clothes. He said, fare thee well today. He said, fare thee well today. That's not the promise that you gave to me when first you lay on my breast. You can make me believe with your lying tongue that the sun rose in the west, that the sun rose in the west. Now go home to father's garden. Go and weep your fill, and think of your own misfortune that you brought with you wanting will, that you brought with you wanting will. There's not a girl in the whole wide world more easily led than me. When the fishes they fly and the seas run dry, 'tis then he'll marry me. He'll marry me. 'Tis then he'll marry me. 'Tis then he'll marry me. 'Tis then he'll marry me.
And the crowd goes wild, as they should, the 14 of us in there and the 2,000 of them out
Yeah,
there. I hope
that
you
was-
enjoyed
that
your
was for us.
duet
That
with
was
the
for us,
Artifact
I'm
stage
assuming.
just now. Man, this has been awesome. Thank you so much for doing this, and best of continued luck on the self-titled album. Travel safely to all the things that you're traveling to, and delightful, man. Thank you.
Thanks
Thanks for
so much
having
for
us.
having us.
All right, we'll see you next time.
Yeah.
Cheers.